For my disciplinary literacy project, I chose to explore literacy in the field of nutrition and food management. This area is a major component of family and consumer science, and I was eager to learn how exactly literacy is applied. To understand literacy within the field of nutrition and food management, I interviewed Desiree Yee. Miss Yee is a licensed dietitian and nutritionist. She shared with me some background about herself in order to understand literacy in a cultural and subjective viewpoint. Miss Yee is a registered dietitian within the Department of Event Management, Dining, and Hospitality at ISU. Prior to working at ISU, Miss Yee worked in a hospital with patients, carefully crafting diet regimens that would fulfill individuals' nutritional guidelines. She now provides services to students with food allergies or specific dietary restrictions. I first asked Miss Yee how literacy is conceptualized within the discipline. I explained that throughout the semester we learned how abstract literacy could be. I gave Miss Yee the example of players reading a game plan or reading the field. She began by explaining cooking techniques as a form of literacy. She used the example braising. If someone picked up a recipe and saw that word, they would need to understand its meaning. I thought this example was a traditional definition of literacy, the ability to read and comprehend words. Then she explained math literacy. She informed me how important math plays a role in the nutrition and food management area. She explained how the FDA is changing the food label to make specific components stand out. She pulled up the old and new versions of food labels, and then she explained how the FDA wants to make the calories stand out the most. To do that, they made the font bigger and bolder. She told me it is extremely important to be literate within food labels while working in the nutrition and food management field. My next question was regarding specific skills necessary to be literate in the discipline. She stated communication was key to explaining important information with patients. She explained knowing how to communicate, whether that means talking or using objects, is essential to getting important dietary info across to patients. My next question was regarding the cultural components of literacy within the discipline. She explained it is important to understand her patient's ability to comprehend nutritional components. She pulled up a website to help her explain this point. She used eatrightpro.org to show me how dietitians can explain important terms with their patients. I too will show you this website. As you can see, the first image depicts a boy running. The caption states the illustration is of a child running to depict energy. A dietitian would use this gesture or illustration to explain to a person that speaks another language that consuming more full calories will cause you to have more energy. The next illustration, on the right, depicts children playing with building blocks. This illustration would be used to describe amino acids, or the building blocks of proteins. This is a form of literacy because although little words are being used, information is being conveyed. Another example of cultural components of literacy was when Miss Yee mentioned menu options. She explained that she was from California and never heard or seen cheese curd on a menu. She said it is important to be literate on where you are because food options may vary and be very different. I then asked about the literacy skills needed for entry members of the field. She talked again about math literacy and explained the serving size on food labels are changing. She explained that it is now very important that nutritionists and dietitians are now literate with the new food label because the serving size now represents the average American rather than the unrealistic portion sizes that they did before. My last question was asking about how schools can improve literacy in the field. She explained now the field has been moving away from words and starting using pictures to explain concepts. She used the food pyramid as an example. The original food pyramid that you can see on the left had pictures, but it also contained many words. Now the food pyramid, now referred to as the My Plate, contains a simple diagram with only the food groups listed. I recall when I was in grade school learning about the food pyramid. Back then it stated the food groups to fulfill that food groups and the serving size required. It even explained why these foods were important for nutrition. As you can see in the image on the right, they have completely simplified the text. Although it contains less words, it is a valid and important piece of text and nutritional literacy. I learned a lot about literacy in the nutrition and food management field after speaking with Miss Yi. Literacy will be essential to any job, but she made it real for me and my content area. Thank you.